You are listening to the strongest podcast in CrossFit. This is the Type 1 Lifting Podcast. Before we start the show, I'd like to thank the sponsors that are helping this podcast grow. The first one is Liberté Lifestyle. Liberté Lifestyle have the best knee sleeves in the game. I've worn all different types of knee sleeves, and I always go back to Liberté. They're super durable, they don't rip, and they last a very, very long time. So go check out Liberté Lifestyle and check out all the different styles of knee sleeves that they have. And then the next one we have is Hero Barbell. Hero Barbell is the fastest growing barbell company in the functional fitness community. Their barbells have all different colors, all different designs, super comfortable. The knurlings are amazing, and the spin on these barbells are absolutely insane. So go to Hero Barbell to check out all the different type of barbells that they have in stock. And then the last one is Sharpen the Axe. Sharpen the Axe, I've been wearing their clothes for multiple years. They're long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, shorts. I always wear them. You may have even seen them on the podcast before they became a sponsor. Super comfortable. The shorts I always wear working out because I just feel like they're a better fit for me compared to the Nikes or any other shorts in the game. So all these companies, I have a promo code. It's all Type 1. So click Type 1 in all the promo code sections and you get 10% off of every item you get. So once again, thank you for these companies to help this podcast grow. And let's go to the show. All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Type 1 Lifting Podcast. I have a returning guest. He is a gym owner, masters athlete, Jeff Zwally. How you doing?
Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, it was a great time the first time we talked, and I'm looking forward to kind of talking to you about the Open, your new gym, which is if anybody hasn't seen his gym yet, it is amazing. Like the design, the paintings, all that stuff. But we'll go over that later on in the podcast. But I want to talk to you about the Open. So you did very well for yourself in the Open, I think.
I mean, I was happy with where I finished.
Yeah, and where did you finish for the?
I just looked before, just because sometimes it changes with scores coming in. But worldwide in my age category, I was 139th.
That's awesome. And was that
91st in the U.S.?
Nice. And so was that kind of the goal, or were you trying to aim higher? What was the thought going into the Open?
Well, I mean, since they expanded to 25%, I kind of went in with the attitude of one and done, rather than beating myself up. Although I was very close to repeating 24.2.
Okay.
Only because I had messed up so many times with the double unders.
Mm-hmm.
I still finished in the top, I think 93, 94 percentile, but it was my ego kind of knocking on the door and saying, do this again. And again, the ego kicks in thinking I would have been nice to finish in the top 100,
mm-hmm.
but I don't think I'm going to move forward to the semifinals. So why beat myself up? So So I was pretty happy. I was trying to do the one and done like I did last year and just call it a day.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah. That's what I've done lately. It's just like one and done. So, because it's like, you can think about it like during the weekend saying, oh, I should have done it faster at this spot. I could definitely, because and everybody knows, like if you do it again, you're probably going to get better.
But yes and no. I mean, I also have the philosophy that I think mentally for me, I like the unknown.
Okay.
Going into that workout.
Yeah.
And pushing as hard as I can, because you don't know where that dark place is quite going to be and how it's going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
At what point during the workout. Doing it again, it's coming. And I think that for me, it always kind of like you kind of put on the brake a little bit to save some in the gas tank.
Yeah.
And sometimes it never works out for me. But
yeah, I definitely tried to game the system on 24.1, which was the dumbest thing ever. Like I would take like 10-second breaks here and 10-second, and I'm like, after I did it and I finished it. It was in like 12:30. It was not impressive, but I was
You did
Yeah.
good. I mean, I was looking at your scores. You did pretty well.
I did good. I mean,
Did you move forward?
yeah, I'm in the quarterfinals,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Like I've talked about this before. Like I don't have an affiliate I can do this stuff with.
Uh,
So like the gym that I go to is like a 24-hour powerlifting gym. And so they don't have rings. They have a rope, they have a pull-up bar, but the problem is the pull-up bar, well, they're changing it now, but the pull-up bar originally was like up to here on my wrist. Like so this much of my hand was like over the bar. And so trying to do like pull-ups or whatever, it's not really gonna cut it. And
yeah.
like everything's like all spaced out too. So it's like I would have to like take time through the middle of the day, move all this stuff over, and then kind of go from there. But like all my buddies are like saying, you should do quarterfinals. Just do it. Just go to the gym, go to the, pay the fee, the drop-in fee, and then kind of go. And I'm like, but I don't want to pay, $25 every workout I do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if I was at a gym and like there's a gym that will welcome me with their open arms, Northeast Georgia CrossFit, which is like a great gym. If anybody's around the Gainesville area, you should check it out. Shameless plug. But anyway, like I just don't want them to, because I think there's maybe one or two other people that made it to quarterfinals at that gym. And I don't want to like, say, hey, I want to do it and then interfere with time at the gym and all that stuff. So it is, I'm kind of making excuses, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna pay the $50 and do it, but I think we had about 10 members make it, and only half are gonna actually go forward and pay to actually enter it. So
yeah. And what do you think about, supposedly for these quarterfinals, they don't have a floor plan and the other people from the gym can do the workout too as well?
yeah, I know. I mean, I've been listening to podcasts about that. I mean, it was the same way with the open. There was no floor taping needed, although we still taped it out because after the first workout, the 24.1, we didn't tape any of the floors down, and it just felt for our Friday night lights like it was just any other class. It didn't have that aesthetic that we wanted to kind of build up for Friday Night Light and the open workout. So the next two, even though we didn't necessarily need tape lines, we did it like we have in past seasons and just taped out the floor. So it's like sectioned off. So it felt like more like the open. But yeah, they're saying that this one, that you won't need tape lines for the quarterfinals, and people in the, I mean, I'm sure it'll be just as accessible and approachable as the open was. So we'll see.
Yeah. So do you think they should have had like a 1 rep max lift on the first three so I'm biased. I say yes, but because I know I could do really good on that, but
yeah, I mean, and I'm surprised they didn't, only because in past years they've always had that like part B where you do some sort of conditioning work, and then the time and remaining you have a 1 max lift. So I knew they said they were going into this to make it a little bit more approachable and accessible, which I kind of liked. I mean, I think we had probably about 60% of our members participating in it. So I kind of like that, but it didn't feel on paper, it didn't look like open workouts, but when you did them, it felt like open workouts.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah. And especially with 24.3 with the muscle ups. So when I did it, so it was like super early in the morning, but there was one guy that said, that's it. Like once I made it to like the muscle ups and stuff like that, he's like, just remember, one extra rep moves you further away from that other person. And like I was like, part of my French, I'm like, shit, like that really hit. And so I'm like, that's why I really have to like haul and just get as many muscle ups as I can.
Yeah. Well, I'm still working on those, so luckily I didn't have to do them.
Yeah. So I know you've been posting a lot on TikTok about your muscle up progression. So have you got any tips from anybody? Like what's going on with that?
I think I have tried every progression out there. I've got so many people DMing me now in terms of tips and tricks and progressions. Everything works from like the hips up, and the hips below that, it's like I'm pulling dead weight up to the bar. I just cannot get my brain connected to my hip
Yeah.
to get it to do what I need it to do. Because all those progressions where you're on a band or a box, sure, yeah, on a band or a box, they're easy. You take that band or box away, and it's no. The guy, I don't know if you follow him, RX Gymnastics.
Yeah, I just followed him after you were talking about it.
Yeah, he's been sending me all kinds of. Some of them are better than others, but then some of these, I mean, some of the things that they've sent me, it's like the progressions are harder than the bar muscle up. I mean, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way sliding on a ball, and most of those things don't work for me. But I've gotten them before. But what happened was I started getting the hang of it right before COVID. And then the gyms shut down for COVID, and we didn't have a rig set up for about a year, 14 months. So for 12, 14 months, we had, we were outside or closed. So I kind of lost everything.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn all that back again, but I'm not going to give up.
Yeah. Well, I think the RX Gymnastics, one of the pages, they're talking about like muscle up progressions where you hold 2 lacrosse balls on the pull up bar and just hang there and then start doing pull up. So I saw that. I was like, oh, I think I could do that. And so I did it literally like the first time, 10 seconds on that bar, I was holding it and for dear life. And it felt like an infinity. It just hurt so bad.
Well, when I finally get them, I was telling one of our coaches, I'm going to put together a series of reels of what progressions work and are shit and which ones really are effective.
Absolutely. You should make that a YouTube video. That would kill. Absolutely kill.
Yeah. And there's a huge population of us that are having the same problem with this hip extension. I just can't get it. So
yeah. So actually speaking of that, so when I went to Florida like this week, but it'll when this comes out, it'll be like 2 weeks prior. And this guy was trying to learn muscle ups, and so he kind of got the hip like movement down, but the problem was like trying to get over the bar, like it's like move his like upper body. So I told him, I'm like, I learned this from WOD prep. So put a hat on like very loosely and then like whip your head over the bar, and if the hat doesn't fall off, that means you didn't whip hard enough. And so he did it and actually like just snapped. It was just like, oh, okay, I got it. And so then he was like, okay, now how can I string 2 up? And he's like, okay. I'm like, okay, well, this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult. So when you're up here, don't push immediately off, drop down a little bit, then push off, and then get that like last kip of like to get up from the bar to get a second one. And he's like, oh, okay. And so, and he pushed off and he got it. Like he definitely chicken winged it though.
Yeah. I go in it like every other day and practice for about 20 or 30 minutes, but there are definitely progressions that work a lot better.
Yeah.
In terms of the turnover and learning that. So yeah, still working on it. That and ring muscle ups are the only 2 movements after doing CrossFit for 11 years that I still don't have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus, like you said before, like a year and a half of not having a rig.
Yeah.
So that's very, very hard. Yeah, so, but I know CrossFit Invictus has a great muscle up video.
I've been following them as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what the guy's name is, but I've saved a lot of the ones that he's posted.
Yeah. The one when they had like I think it was the first ring muscle ups that came up, or like the second round or whatever. Like I saw, and like he said the one part where you like actually like whip your arms out right when you're like almost parallel from like the floor, then you pull your arms and then just quickly come in, and it should help a little bit. But yeah, it's all progressions. Like from what I got,
Invictus is right down the street from us.
Yeah. So you could just walk over there and say, hey, help me with the ring muscle ups. But so you said you were doing the quarterfinals. So what do you expect might come up for quarterfinals?
Well, from what they've been saying, I think they're going to see the same kind of approachable, accessible type of, in terms of being able to do it at like a home gym. I think I doubt you're going to see, last year there was rope climbs. I don't know if you'll see those this year or not. I think you'll see heavier barbell in the quarterfinals for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
And probably more higher gymnastic skills. So for my age group, 68 and over, we did not have bar muscle ups in the open. So our progressions were chin over bar, chest to bar for that one.
Oh, okay.
But in the quarterfinals is where we start to see bar muscle ups, ring muscle ups, and handstand walks.
Okay.
So,
Now do you think that, like, I think they said they were doing like 4 workouts, I believe. And
but they
so
said 4 scores. They said 4 workouts.
okay.
So there could be a part B on one of them.
Okay. So do you think that like the first workout that comes up is going to be like kind of an easy one, and then once the second one hits, that will be like the divider compared to like the elites to, the people that just scratch the bottom of the quarterfinals?
I don't know if it will be segmented like that. I tend to think it's going to be, I mean, but it could be a workout where as you progress throughout the workout, the skill level gets harder or the weight gets heavier, sort of like a ladder. So that will kind of where people will break. Because just like you said, getting that one bar muscle up is going to move you further ahead. So I think in our age category, now that they're throwing the bar muscle ups in, that's where the break's going to come for us, as well as the weight, increasing the weight. I don't know. Yeah.
We'll okay. See. Yeah.
Have you ever done the quarterfinals?
No. So last year I didn't do the open because I moved to this house, and like I just didn't know like the area that well. So, and like the gyms, I don't know anybody at the gym. So it was like kind of, I didn't want to walk in there and say, hey, I'm here to do the open, and like kind of interfere with their community or whatever. But like CrossFit communities, they're welcoming with open arms. They're like, hey, come on in, you're fine. Hey, I'm so-and-so. But then the year before that, I didn't make it into quarterfinals. But like when I first started, I was like in like the 90th percentile, 91st percentile. Then it kind of dipped a little bit. And then now this is like the first time I actually made it to the quarterfinals.
Okay.
So
I do think CrossFit needs to create a little bit more energy around the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Than they have been. Like make an announcement like they do the open. Since they've expanded it from 10 to 25% to get people a little bit more excited about it, because I still feel it's kind of a little bit lackluster in terms of the excitement around it.
Yeah, I agree. It was almost like the open too. Like I know a lot of people when they saw the workouts, they're like, what? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, and it was like very disappointing. Yeah, I think when I saw 24.2, I was like very disappointed in that workout. And I'm like, this is so lame, like so lame. Obviously, like I'm not a programmer, so I could try to make a better workout, but that's what they want to do. But it's like, can you add something else, like a little bit more weight to make it a little bit more difficult or something?
The thing that I couldn't get over is how much hinging we had to do.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and it's like a mile for me to do those like dumbbell snatches, like because I'm 6'6", so it's like takes forever for me to get up there, and even the deadlifts and rowing, like rowing's kind of easy for me, but yeah.
So that's another reason why I'm glad I didn't redo both of those workouts, because of just my lower back. I mean, my lower back after the first one was feeling it from those burpees and deadlifts.
Yep. Yeah. And like, were you standing up the whole time during those burpees, or were you kind of like just barely getting up and then like jumping over?
I mean, I stayed as low as I possibly could. As low as a 6-year-old guy can stay.
Yeah. Yeah. So with your gym, did your clients and stuff, did they like the open, or like what were their thoughts?
Yeah, I think mainly because we had a lot of first timers doing it, so they didn't know what to expect. So I think for them, they really enjoyed it.
Okay.
But I think for the more seasoned athletes, we heard a lot of comments like you just made, like, I can't believe we're not seeing heavy weights. Um, I mean, again, like I said, on paper, it didn't necessarily look like open workouts, but when you're in it, it still felt like an open workout.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, um, yeah.
So someone could say there was heavy weights involved with 24.3 with the 130 with the 135 thrusters.
Yeah. I mean, true.
So
But
yeah.
typically you would see something like a ladder.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't think they're going to do another like open announcement or like that. I think there's just going to be like, okay, here are the workouts, go for it, and make sure you videotape everything and whatever.
I'm glad there weren't shuttle runs, and I'm glad there weren't wall walks.
Yeah, I bet you there's going to be shuttle runs in the next rounds.
I would tend to think there probably will be.
Yeah, and then I think there's probably going to be wall walks too.
Yeah, I think
because because well, I mean, I've gotten really good at wall walks, so I think like when the first wall walks came around, I was dying, but now it's like I was doing like an EMOM with the program I'd follow, Misfit Athletics, but like we did like a wall walk progression, so it was like do like 3 or 4 wall walks within a minute, and then rest 30 seconds, and then keep on doing that for like 10 minutes.
I mean, that first season that the Open had wall walks, we never did them in class. I mean, occasionally we did them as a warm up, but very rarely did we ever do them as part of that programming. And then after that, we do it all the time.
Yeah, isn't it funny where like something comes up in the Open and like now everyone like over programs that movement just to get it down?
And just like when dumbbells, I mean, no one had dumbbells.
Yeah.
And then the first season that they had dumbbells, everyone bought dumbbells.
Yeah, and they bought like metal ones or like something like that, and people were doing the workouts with like metal dumbbell plates and like just dropping it and making a mess.
Yeah.
So, but I also saw you doing another progression too. I think it was on TikTok where you were doing like the standalone like handstand push-up or something like that.
Oh yeah, we're just playing around in the gym.
Yeah. Is that something you're trying to aim for too?
Well, I'm trying to learn the handstand walks more like from a gymnastics point of view rather than the legs flying all over the place. So I've been focusing mainly on that handstand hold and learning that first, freestanding handstand hold, and then also practicing from the kind of like the crow position into a straight freestanding handstand, and then progressing to the wall walk from there, or to the handstand walk.
Okay. Yeah, it's my legs flail like all over the place. That's what kills me. Like one of the goals I have is trying to do like a 180 handstand walk, like go down, turn around, and come back. Yeah, you've seen them.
Yeah.
And so like I'm on day 4 and I'm so close, and it's just like that last 45 degrees just like gets me every single time. And like for today, when the one I posted today, I swear I thought I had it. Like I was moving, I was like, okay, and then all of a sudden it was just like fell backwards, and I was like, fell forward, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It was so close.
Yeah. Is that what you're mainly working on right now?
No, well, obviously the gymnastics work, but it was like I'm pretty good at doing handstand walks like on a straight line. Like I don't have an issue with that because like it's all the shoulder strength that I've been working on, and the volume. And so I was like, okay, I need to add it a little bit more because with the program they have like a handstand walk, like jungle course, whatever they call it. Like, so you put like cones in certain areas, so you like walk in different directions. So I was like, all right, well, let me work on the 180 first, and then kind of then work on zigzagging. So at least I can know like how my body's going to work when I go through like all those like different progressions and stuff. So once I get the 180 down, then the zigzagging is going to work. And then I have done, I think like 45-pound plates in front of like a handstand walk and a step, like, walked over it. I've done that. So, but I haven't done that in a while. Like I think the next one was probably like do like a ramp or something like that, or stairs.
See, so I'm trying to learn the basics of the handstand hold, because I think that's where I went wrong on my bar muscle up, is that I went from strict pull-ups to butterfly and never really mastered the kipping. And it's coming back to bite me now on the bar muscle ups.
Yeah.
So with the handstand walk, I'm really trying to learn kind of like being able to hold that position and then learning to walk from there.
Yeah. So like maybe do like a wall walk and then just do like the hollow position on the top or something like that, or
yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to focus. What was it during? It was the game season one year where they had to hold a freestanding handstand hold.
Yep.
In a square.
Yep.
For as long as I can. So I'm trying to really learn that positioning and hold that. And then, I mean, I'm learning to walk as well, but really learning that straight position, because there are some people in our gyms, their legs are just like flailing all over the place, or the back's completely like arched.
Yeah.
And I just want to really learn that gymnastics positioning.
Yeah. I know Catherine Davis' daughter did that workout. I believe she was the only one that actually did like the split leg just to balance, to keep straight and like, yeah. And I think everyone else just like had their feet like straight up, like pointing their toes pointed up.
Yeah. Like that gymnastic. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like I've tried the scorpion where like you kick your legs forward, like kind of like not like you bend them and stuff like that, and that absolutely jacks my back up every single time.
Same.
And I'm
so
like,
I herniated a disc like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, geez.
When I see some of these guys in our gyms and their backs, it's like, shit, there's no way I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and it's like I've learned really quick not to do that. So it's just like kick my legs up and then kind of see what happens. And then, you
did pretty well.
I've done pretty good. And my thing is like, I think my legs are like connected together and pointed in the right direction. Then I look at the videos and they're just like you said, like flailing all over the place. And it's just like, I really thought my legs were like in a comfortable position or like a solid position, so it wouldn't be having any issues.
Yeah.
So is there any other movements you're trying to master before quarterfinals or just like at the end of the year?
I mean, just your typical get stronger, heavier weights. But in terms of gymnastics movements, those are the two.
Okay. And I did see you have the Nike barbell, the orange one.
Yes.
Okay. So I've always wanted to, like, I love Hero Barbell. Like that's literally them right there. So the best barbell, I think. But how was the Nike barbell for you?
I mean, I would say they're just as good as any of the other barbells that we have. I wouldn't necessarily go run out and buy one. Yeah, someone gave it to us. So, but it does its job.
Yeah. So do you have the weights too as well, or
no,
just the bar? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it out and compare it to Hero's barbell, like compared to the Nike one, because their spin is like
nice.
Unreal. Have you tried their barbells before?
No.
Oh man, like I literally can like kick it and it would spin forever. Like not forever, but like it would spin for like a very, very long time. And it's like, it's super smooth pulling it up and then like just switching it over, especially on the snatch and the clean and jerk.
Nice.
So yeah, it's and they're California guys too. So they're California dudes. So you might want to hit them up or something. Or if you need a barbell, I can hook you up too. So,
okay.
But so I do wanted to talk about your gym.
Yeah.
So I know the previous podcast we did together, you would move. I think you moved like every single year to like a different location, and so you moved into this location, and like the backdrop, the design work, and like it looks like the space too as well is like absolutely amazing. And so did that, when you looked at that place, was all that stuff there already, or were you like, just when you walked in, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like a blank canvas. I could do whatever I want with this thing.
So this is our 9th location in 10 years.
Stay classy CrossFit, by the way.
Yeah. They call it, they've nicknamed us, I think, the Gypsies here in San Diego. So we were outside still from COVID before we moved into this location. And we had looked at it maybe a year or two prior to when we moved in about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first looked at it, it was a blank canvas. And when we went back, we got a call from the landlord, the investment group, and said that the previous tenant was moving out. So we went and looked at it. The previous tenant had turned it into a event space. So they painted all the murals. They completely turfed the back. They put in lighting. They redid the bathrooms. They put a big ass fan in. They put a sound system in. I mean, it was basically set up for events.
Yeah.
They would do art shows. They would do raves in there. They were having raves in there, and they soundproofed the 2 wooden bay doors out to go out the back.
Oh my gosh.
The neighbors wouldn't hear the music.
Yeah.
So when we walked in, it was like, shit, this is like a perfect gym location, because we've always been in those kind of like industrial areas that looked really grungy, like the old CrossFit gyms. But when we walked into this, it was something that was very atypical of what a CrossFit gym looked like. So everything was done. The only thing that we invested money in was we put the rolled flooring in, and we put a shower in.
Okay.
But everything that you're seeing on those videos was already in that space from the previous tenant. The reason why they moved out was because the zoning is not zoned for assembly. So every time they would have a large event of over, I don't know, 75 or 100 people, the fire department would come and shut them down because it wasn't zoned correctly.
That's crazy.
They basically had a choice of either investing even more money into it to bring it up to code or move out. And they had invested so much money into the space, as you can plainly see. They didn't want to put any more money in because they would never get it back. So luckily for us, it's zoned for instructional studio. So we were able to move in there, and basically it was made for a CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
We have a mezzanine. So square footage wise, we have about 4,000 square foot outside. That's completely turfed. We have patio lights, and then we installed a rigging outside with sunshades. So, and being in San Diego, we learned from COVID, people love working out outside. And we would have people that would drop in. And our old space was a shithole. I mean, because trust me, it was. It was in an old outside roofing area.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that very well. Yeah.
We would have to hang up tarps on the sides where the roller doors wouldn't close. And the water would just come in. And we had the old horse mats in the water. I mean, I don't know why people were joining our gym in that time. We had one toilet. It was awful. It was. And it was. People would walk in though and say, "This is a cool space," and it had that grungy CrossFit vibe, and I think that's why people liked it. But it was really hard. I mean, in the winter for San Diego, it was freezing. It was like 45, 50 degrees outside, and San Diegans aren't. I mean, when it rains.
Yeah.
Now, so when we moved in there into the new space, we doubled the size. So we have 4,000 square feet outside. We have about 3,500 downstairs in the floor space. And then upstairs, we have maybe another 2,000 square feet, 2,500 on the mezzanine. And then there's 2 offices that we're subleasing out to sports massage therapists.
Okay.
So we kind of split up the area that we have group class downstairs, and then private training on the mezzanine, and the sports massage therapists up in the offices.
Okay, very
cool. Bathrooms, shower, Yeah. And then street parking outside in San Diego, that you can't beat that.
Yeah. Now with the mezzanine, like I know you said you have like 2 offices that you subleased out, but what can you put anything else up there at all, or?
I mean, right now we're trying to grow our personal training
Mhm.
business, because we still have a lot of clients who are intimidated by CrossFit. And we kind of view it as kind of like a longer, hopefully a longer onboarding to get them into group class.
Yeah.
But some of our personal training clients that want nothing to do with the group class model. They like coming in, working one-on-one with our coaches, and kind of doing their own thing. But right now, it's primarily in that mezzanine area is for open gym or group personal training.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Now, are you looking to expand into like, I know you have the CrossFit gym there, but like, are you looking to like expand into like a coffee shop, like in the place, or not, or just like straight CrossFit?
Just straight CrossFit. Yeah. I mean, it's because there's 2 other CrossFit gyms near us,
Mhm.
nearby, Invictus and Bear Republic. Both are downtown San Diego. We're located technically in Logan Heights, but it's about a mile and a quarter. But even though we're 3 CrossFit gyms that are fairly close by each other, we each have very separate or different communities that we've kind of like developed.
Mhm.
Invictus is kind of like obviously the elite athletes, the competitive athletes, and people who want to gravitate towards that. They're located downtown. Parking is kind of a minimum in San Diego downtown. Bear Republic is another downtown CrossFit. That's where I started when it was East Village. They tend to get more of the city downtown people who don't want to drive.
Mhm.
Parking's at a minimum, 20, 30-year-olds. And then Stay Classy is in Logan Heights. And we tend to get more, I'd say, the 30, 40-year-olds. It's funny that, 6 or 7 years ago, on a Friday night light after the open, we all be out, stay drinking, till 11 o'clock after the open. Now everyone has kids, like 5 or 6 women in the gym that are expecting. We've kind of, our age and community demographic is aging up a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, so we tend to get more like beginners, intermediates, that type of thing.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem, well, obviously with instead of that tiger on the wall, whatever the big
Yeah, the
tiger head
tiger,
on the
yeah,
wall, it doesn't seem intimidating compared to like, maybe a new person going into Invictus where they see like all these elite athletes and,
yeah.
training and whatnot. And I don't know if Bear is the same thing with like, they have like some elite
They're,
athletes as
they're
well.
pretty good athletes. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they see like the clientele that you have, and, they're like, oh, okay, this is more like, just get your hour of fitness in, go home, hang out with the fam, and then, come back another day.
Exactly. I mean, we
Yeah.
still have some competitive athletes, but for the most part, I think we're really going after, those people that are beginners that need to CrossFit, that really haven't been active, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a guy that had a YouTube video. I think he was doing like trying to get 30 clients in 30 days. I forget. Oh gosh. Did you see that video? How he did it?
No.
So he would walk up to people in like Walmart or like some other, gosh, I wish I remember the channel, but he would like talk to people about CrossFit and say, hey, you have a free session to come and try it out and kind of see what happens, just to gain more customers, because he thought that CrossFit didn't really help them get the clients that they needed for the gym. And so he was trying, I think it was like 30 for 30 or something like that. So he was like, at least like connecting with somebody, one or two people in a day, and like going out when he's going grocery shopping or whatever.
And did it work?
I guess he had a couple people that showed up. So I don't know if they became like, I don't know if they became like full year members or anything like that. Cause I saw like one video and I didn't really follow through on it. So,
Well, it's funny because I personal train and coach at another gym in North Park. It's more of like a boutique, smaller garage gym.
mm-hmm.
And they know that I own a CrossFit gym in Logan Heights. And a couple of them would say, "Oh, I can never do CrossFit." It's like, you're doing CrossFit here. We just don't call it that. Because I think CrossFit still has a hurdle to cross in terms of getting people to understand that this is for everybody.
Yeah.
And not just for someone who's physically fit. But yeah, they'll say, "Oh, I can never do that."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're doing CrossFit now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, there's this one girl that's a trainer at the gym that I'm at. She's like, "Oh, I think by the end of the year, end of the summer, like the school year, I'll start doing CrossFit." And I'm like, you're already doing it. You're teaching these HIIT classes. Like, it's the
Yeah.
same exact
Yeah.
thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, you see me, like, okay, you may be intimidated of me, like seeing me lift the heavy weight, but like, you could use a barbell and get the same stimulus that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And like, they don't get that. And I'm like, I keep on telling them, like, just do it. You'll be fine. I'll even like I'll even like take pictures of the program that I do and send it your way to kind of, be like, "Hey, try it out." So
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the personal training clients that I program for at Stay Classy, that we're working up on the mezzanine doing their private training, and they'll look down. It's like, "Oh, I can never do that." It's like, you're doing that up here. We're just modifying everything.
yeah, it's just like, it's just less weight and maybe more reps or whatever.
Again, that CrossFit name or branding sometimes intimidates people still.
Yeah. So are you still getting a good amount of people coming in to check the place out, or even drop-ins as well?
Yeah. I mean, well, the what we're focusing on now is, because it was an event space, we have the opportunity to actually like hold bigger events in the gym. So last September, we partnered with Sarah Wilkinson, who is the widow that started the Chad workout.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we were one of the 3 official locations in the U.S. for Chad last year.
Okay, very cool.
So I think we had, I don't know, like 130 people there that day doing Chad. We've had a couple. We're getting ready to do we're partnered with a firm here in San Diego. I believe it's called Locally Well, and we're having our first health and wellness event with vendors and workshops, that type of thing. Because even though we're doing events, most of them are being held outside, so that we're not running into the issue that the last tenant did. So as long as they're outside, we're fine.
Okay. Okay.
So we're focusing a little bit on how we can use, because obviously when we moved from the last location to this location, we doubled the size. So with that comes double the rent.
Yeah.
So subleasing out those 2 offices upstairs definitely has helped. So we're trying to utilize the space in other ways. One of our members teaches pole dancing. So
okay.
Professionally.
Yeah.
So she's having a 2-day pole dance workshop this weekend. She's running the space out for us for about 20 or 30 people.
Okay.
A workshop there. So we're doing more of those type of things to generate revenue other than just from group class and private training.
Well, I mean, they don't really need poles. All you need to do is you get a barbell and put weights on the bottom, and they can just spin around that way.
And then people in the class have actually wanted to see if we could put a permanent pole in.
right off the mezzanine, so you can just slide down like a firefighter. So, so have you? I know with like they're doing the pole dancing and like other other things and stuff. Have you ever thought about doing like a level 1 or a level 2 certification at your gym, or have you talked to CrossFit about that?
Actually, we're doing a level 1 May 4th and 5th.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So hopefully it will go well enough that we can do an L2. But we're doing our first L1 workshop or certification next month.
Okay. Now for that to work and to come into your gym for that L1, so do they pay you like some of the money for, rent of the space out? Like how does that work?
So there's certain requirements that you have to have in terms of available space, bathrooms, stuff like that, so they know they can fit that number of people in. So they kind of screened us to see if the location kind of fit what they basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they end up paying us $1,000 to rent the space,
Okay.
which isn't bad. And
No.
then we have to provide snacks and beers on the first night.
Yeah.
But my business partner went and he got his redid his L1 a few months ago, and he said no one stays; they all go home. So, I think they pay us $1,000, and then we get two L1 spots for free.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So we're giving one to one of our members who's going to become a coach, and the other one's going to one of the sports massage therapists.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And with the new changes in CrossFit too, of like the owners or whoever, is it the owners or a coach needs to have at least one of those guys that need to have a level 2?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? And like, what are you guys going to do for that?
I mean, one of us will probably end up getting the L2. I think our affiliate renews in September. Fee renews in September, so we have a year after that to get it. So we're necessarily not in any rush or have to, but I mean, both the owners here don't coach at the gym. So I get what they're trying to do in terms of raising the standard. All of our coaches already have their L2, so at least the coaches on the coaching floor are kind of certified there already in terms of the level of coaching staff that we have.
Yeah.
L2s and L3s. For the owners to be required to get that, I think it depends on where you are in your CrossFit career. We're 10 years into it. Is having an L2 for one of the owners really going to be of benefit and value to running the business? Personally, for us, I don't think it is. I think I would have rather had them require us to do more of I want to know how to run the business.
Yes.
Lead funnel, social media marketing, that type of thing. Because I've got a great coaching staff. I got a great GM. I've got a great head coach. Is investing another $1,200, $1,000 into that really going to elevate us as a business? No, but I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah. Including the $2,500 affiliate fee now?
Well, we're going from 3,000 to 4,500. So
that's it. Yeah.
1,500. So it's going up about $100 a month. And having worked in the franchise world for 30 years, I'm glad we're not a franchise business. I don't want to be a franchise business. I like being a licensing model. Do I think they should be providing us something for that licensing fee? I don't necessarily feel like I expect it, but when you have 13,000, 14,000 affiliates, and you're trying to grow a brand, just kind of letting us kind of like succeed on our own may have worked 10 years ago when there wasn't an F45 and an Orange Theory and Stop and everything else out there that's basically taking what we owned and kind of stealing kind of a lot of that. The competition's has changed. So I think they need to be providing us more things that we can pull from, but not necessarily I don't expect it from them. It's sort of like a smorgasbord of things. Like I would prefer that they come up with like certifications or seminars that we can pay for to learn social media marketing, that type of thing. I know the basics are out there already.
Yeah.
Pretty basic,
Yeah. Or you can do it.
True.
Because
Well, so I don't know where. Let me, before you finish.
okay.
I think what you've seen is because CrossFit HQ hasn't provided it, other businesses have popped up to provide it.
Mm-hmm.
So Two Brain, Best Hour of the Day, Fit Affiliate, they've developed these third-party mentorship programs that are providing that level of service. So it's not really coming from CrossFit anymore. It's these other entities that have come up, and they're doing great with it. I listen to their podcasts all the time. They have some really great information. I learn more from them than I'm learning from CrossFit HQ.
And which that should not happen at all.
Which is my point, is that when you have 14,000 affiliates and you are paying a licensing fee, I think we have an issue when I'm learning more about running the business from them than I am to the brand that I'm representing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their level of communication also needs to continue to level up, because I found out about the affiliate fee increase from Morning Chalk Up. So again, when you're in it as an affiliate owner and you're having to get information from third-party entities, I think, yeah, it needs to level up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you should start a class
on
social media. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can do it. I mean,
yeah,
the only reason why, like, I mean, not the only reason, but like, you know, the first time meeting you was mainly through TikTok, which you blew up in. And then like all of a sudden, like after the podcast we did, like you were starting getting like brand deals and like all these things coming up. And I'm like, holy crap, like this guy is killing it. Like he knows how to work the social media stuff. And
there was a point I was making more from brand deals than I was at my affiliate.
that's insane. But you know the space of social media and like how it works. And you've probably seen a lot of, you know, gyms that post like that have a social media page, and you're like let's say you go on vacation,
Yeah,
and you go to their gym, you go to their social media page, and it's absolutely garbage, and you're like, okay, is it really worth me going to this gym, or should I go another like 5-10 miles down the road because this gym looks a lot better than this one?
because we get members either through when they Google CrossFit gym near me, and then they go look at our social media. And that's also how we're getting these events that were coming in, because people are coming and seeing our social media and seeing the space. But even like, I know CrossFit is providing reels and stories. There's a library for that the affiliates have access to, which is great. But I don't put that on my social media page because those aren't my members and that's not my space.
Exactly. And how old are they?
And they don't represent who we are.
Yeah.
But what I've done is I've taken a lot of those reels and YouTube videos, and through certain apps, you can extract the audio and the voiceover. So you have the CrossFit paid for voiceover announcer, and then I just overlay that on videos of our members in our space. So it feels a little bit more professional than me just talking on the phone and doing the voiceover. And those have resonated really well with our followers and the people that are seeing our social media.
Yeah. And it's like, it's like, I definitely do think people need to learn how to do social media a lot better, because some of the gyms, it's like,
it's so bad.
yeah, like you really should not put this on there, and at least like do some, like, they may be trying to do some work, but they kind of still don't get the grasp of like how it works. But like, you know, like for me with doing YouTube, like I'm constantly looking at like tips and tricks and like how to make this podcast better, like reading books and stuff like that. You know, with social media, it's a little harder for reading books because some of them might be outdated, but like, you may get some nuggets here and there, but it's just like, just constantly learn how to do it. And like, yeah, okay, if you fail, whatever, or don't get the likes, but you have to make it aesthetically pleasing for everyone to look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is the gym I want to go to for like a drop-in.
Exactly. To create a vibe.
Mm-hmm. And they can't create a vibe because they just don't. They think their vibe that they see and start putting on is not it's not the vibe that they're really looking for, but they just think it because it's what they like.
Do you listen to Stu Bauer of WTF Gym Talk?
No, I don't.
No, he has a lot of good social media tips and tricks. Because we used to do our social media, and I see what a lot of people do is they are posting things for their members, and they're already there. You've already got they're already paying a membership.
Yeah.
So we're posting things about, like Sally got her 300-pound back squat today. That's not really bringing new people in.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I've really tried to focus on posting things that's trying to get new members coming in rather than posting a lot about existing members and showcasing them per se.
Yeah.
The committed club, a lot of gyms are doing the committed club, and that's really resonated well too.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool seeing like people posting about like, doing a PR that day or whatnot, but it's just like, that's not really helping you get more clients coming in.
Correct.
So, but, so with your TikTok, you've obviously got more subscribers and followers or whatever. So like, what have you seen for the trends? Kind of, are they changing, or what do you think about the possible ban of TikTok?
So I post mostly on Instagram, but sometimes I'll post on TikTok. So the TikTok ban, I don't think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. No, I'm not too worried about that. Instagram, though, is where most of our new members are coming from, and taking a look at our social media through that. But I'm noticing that with our reels, we're getting more exposure to non-followers on Instagram. So we're using that as mostly as our form of marketing right now.
Mm-hmm. And even for your page, your personal page, I mean, you're at like almost like 18K.
18,000.
Yeah, close to that. So do you think having your shirt off kind of helps out get the followers?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta give them what they want.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do that, but the problem is like the gym I go to, like, I don't want to take my shirt, like, it's your gym. Yeah, fine. Well, you can do whatever the hell you want, but it's just like it's an indoor gym, and I'm like, there's no doors to go outside or anything like that. So I'm like, I don't want to take my shirt off. Like, when I take my shirt off for like a lift or something like that, I'm like, I feel so awkward.
Well, in a CrossFit gym, you don't.
True.
It's no big deal. Plus, you're in San Diego. The weather's beautiful.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's like Georgia, like, the winter time is like 40 degrees or probably less than that. Yeah. And so it's just like, yeah, there's no way I'm taking my shirt off for that. No, thank you. So
yeah, the shirtless photos help a little bit.
Yeah. Note to self, start doing that more. So, but we're getting close to the end. So, I have rapid fire questions, which are not rapid fire. You can take as long as you want. So, I know we kind of talked about your goals in the fitness space. So, it's early. It's in the month of April. So, what are your goals, personal or business wise, until the end of the year?
Wow. So I'm 60. I just turned 60 last year. And time is flying by. I mean, it's true that the older you get, the faster time goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really trying to focus on traveling more. And then growing my personal training business and also my social media are the three goals for the end of this year.
Okay. And anything with Stay Classy, like get like 10 more clients, or like how many clients could fit in that gym?
So we've looked at the operational capacity of that space. We think we could easily handle 200, 225.
That's a lot.
We're about half of that right now, 120, 125. But yeah, I mean, ideally, if we could get to that number in the next year, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, but yeah, we could handle that.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a favorite book that you've read since the last time we've done a podcast?
Fiction or nonfiction?
It could be both, whatever, tickles your
So the
fancy.
one book I have reread that I read, got in 1982 that I just
Okay.
reread
Okay.
was Dune.
Okay. All right.
So
I haven't read the book, but
it's
do you like the remake of it, the first one?
it's killer.
Yeah.
The first one or the second one?
Well, I haven't seen the second one yet, so
Well, they made there's the David Lynch one from like the 90s.
no,
And then
not that one. The one that came out
these
a couple
are
weeks.
killer. Oh yeah, these are amazing.
Yeah. Have you seen the second one yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that's like the best movie ever. So
If you haven't read the book, I recommend reading the book.
okay. All right, I got to put that on. I seriously have like a stack of books like that high, just like all stuff I bought.
What's the last one you read that you liked?
So I've read Arnold Schwarzenegger's Be Useful. So that was interesting. So it was mainly like, how to be a better person and be successful too as well. So coming from him and like what he's done when he first became into like bodybuilding to where he's at now. That was a good one. I've read the Success Principles. So that was it's the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Oh yeah.
So his book is really good. I really like it. I'm definitely gonna kind of skim through that again. And then before the Arnold Schwarzenegger book, I read a quick one by Ernie Johnson called Unscripted. The Ernie Johnson from like the NBA on TNT. So he talks about how he's like, got into broadcasting, how him and his dad would broadcast together, and then like how it then all of a sudden like they were talking about like adopting kids and whatnot. So that was a pretty good book. And now the book I'm reading now is the Nipsey Hussle. It's like the marathon goes on.
Oh,
so
no.
He's a rapper, so he got shot. Like, so the main thing is that he was trying to give back into the community in Los Angeles where he was living, where it's like not the greatest place to be. So he was trying to give back to the community, open stores, and like kind of be ahead of the game to, say that he's doing something. But he got shot. He got killed like right in front of his store, like a couple weeks after they opened it. So, but so I'm reading that book right now.
Nice.
So, all right. So next question, what is in your gym bag? Because I know you have a whole bunch of brand deals, so I know you got some new gear.
Gainful protein, Bear Complex grips, RPM Smart Gear jump rope.
Okay.
The Haven athletic bag.
Okay. Do you like how big is that? How big is that gym bag? Okay.
I got the small and the large.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. Yes.
Okay.
Because you've got a separate pouch for, supposed to put like your lifters in it to separate it from everything else, but I put my meal prep in there.
Okay.
So it's a separate spot for that, but it's basically like a photographer bag. How they get this, for the lenses.
Yeah.
But they've made it, kind of reconfigured it for a CrossFitter or a gym bag.
Oh, cool.
So everything, because I had like, the backpacks, and I would like dig everything out of there, could never find everything. And this is like, you can find anything in there. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
A pumice stone, some perfect bars, and my lifters.
Okay. All right, cool. Very cool. So I know you've done some brand deals before. So what are kind of the brands that you like to work for? And are there any brands that you would love to work with that you haven't had the chance to yet?
I've done work with Viore, which I love. Uh, Gainful Protein, that they customize your own protein for you and they can add flavor packets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and Bear Complex. So I did a couple reels and videos for them. They sent me their the new vest with the weight plates, and
Okay.
yeah, it's nice. Uh, Brands that I would like to work with, LSKD. They're here in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Another
Okay.
apparel company.
Yep.
And Noble, if you're out there.
Okay, since you said about Noble, do you think they're dying or whatnot? Like, because they're not, because I remember in semifinals they were supposed to put up booths
I don't
at
know.
semifinals,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
never were there.
I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. TYR is also getting into the shoe business. We have a
Yeah.
couple of members who just bought some of their lifters, which I think is kind of interesting. They sent a couple of sunglasses to me. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Noble, I don't know. I mean, I've never owned a pair. So
I have, and they're now my full-time lawn shoes because I cannot work out in them. So I just can't do it. And the only
so what's your go-to workout shoe?
Nike Metcons. So
Same.
the latest ones, the Metcon 8s, I think, are the 8s out? Because I had 7. Yeah, the 8s. So the newer one, I got, mine are like white and blue. So they're like, I know they're gonna get dirty, but I really didn't care. I got them at the outlets for like $60. So I was like, whatever.
Dude,
So
we've an outlet down by the Mexican border, Nike outlet.
yeah,
I buy all my Nike Metcons down there.
of course. Like, why would you do something? Why would you buy them full price?
And some of the best, my favorite ones are the ones I bought down there because I would have never bought those colors
Yeah.
if I went to a regular Nike store.
Yep.
My favorite pair is a white and green one.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get dirty, but they look great.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. Like I almost went back to buy like 2 more pairs just to save them because but then they were like all gone, and so I was like, okay, I can't. But
for $49.99 and $59, I mean,
yeah, easy. But like, I love the newer Metcons because they're so good on the rope climbs.
Rope climbs and handstand push-ups.
Yeah, yep. But like the first time I did rope climbs with them, I clamped on them so hard, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like,
I agree with you there.
Like, where were you before?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big Metcon guy. I wouldn't mind trying Rads.
I haven't seen any of them in the gym yet.
Because one of the guys in my Touch and Go gang group that like we go like once a month live, he wears them and he swears by them. He loves them. He thinks it's like their favorite like workout shoes. But I'm like, I would like to try them, but like I don't want to pay that amount of money for the shoes. I'm like, I'd rather go get Nike and $50.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe Tier will come back and knock on your door, and Rad will come knock on your door and be like, hey, we got some shoes for you. Just promote our brand.
There you go.
So, second to last question. So, let's just say it's you already said this one before, but like, let's just say it's your last day on earth and you have all your friends around you. How do you want them to know you as?
Wow. Someone who listened and someone that they could count on.
Okay. I like that. That's awesome. All right. So last question. So where can people reach out to you if they have any questions about like maybe owning a gym, of course, social media, how to post content with your shirt off, or or any of the questions regarding what you need?
2 ways. Instagram, they can DM me at JEFF_ZWALLY, or they can email me at JKZWALLY@gmail.com.
Okay. And So for the listeners, what's the CrossFit gym that you own? It's Stay Classy CrossFit.
Stay Classy CrossFit in San Diego, California, from the Anchorman.
Yeah. So
Stay Classy San Diego.
Great gym. Love the designs there, and thank you for coming on. I know we were supposed to come on a week ago, but my wife got tickets to Madonna. I got her tickets to Madonna, so I went with her. But
smart man.
Yeah. Well, we actually, so that little story about that. So we actually left early, the Madonna show, because
she started an hour late.
The concert started at 8:30. Yeah. She didn't come on till 10:15.
Of course not.
And I was like, we're like, what is going on? And then the stadium was 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Inside, because she wanted her voice to be like, save her voice for singing. And I'm like, we were up in the 200s and I was sweating so bad. And then it got to the point where my wife's friend had her, I guess one of her neighbors was selling the Madonna tickets in the 100s. And so she sent my wife the picture of the ticket. And so we went down to the 100s of that seat because they didn't sell. And we just sat there for an hour and a half, but it was still stupid hot.
She never starts on time.
Oh, it is so annoying. I'm like, just start. You're yeah. And I don't know, but anyway, but at least it was cool getting a chance to see her and, for the first time, whatever. It was definitely interesting. So the way they set up the stage and all that stuff. Yeah. So, but anyways, thank you, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. It's always fun chatting it up with you and kind of seeing how you're doing, social media wise and the gym wise. And, don't be a stranger coming back on here.
Yeah. I'll keep following you.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.